morning, guys. Welcome to the first car vlog on this channel. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about if you can daily drive a Miata and keep it as your only driver. So what I've learned basically from having a stick shift Miata is obviously I'm in love with the car. That's why I'm paying so much insurance for it, for, you know, being a 17-year-old driver with a convertible sports car. Oh, there's a person there. Hello. But one of the reasons I love this car is obviously it being manual. Because I can do that. So yeah, one of the reasons I love having a manual Miata is obviously it's manual, it's really easy to drive. It's apparently one of the easiest cars to learn stick shift in. So obviously, you know, learning how to drive it, one of my friends drove this car and he didn't install it aside from once, and it was like a second time ever driving stick shift, and he said this was a really easy car to learn in. A lot of people complain that they're pretty slow, and I'll give it credit. It's not as slow as everybody says. I don't know, maybe this is because I have the 1.8, but it doesn't feel as slow as everybody says. I've never really had an issue with it. But it's not fast. It's not a fast car. If you're looking at getting a Miata to go, you know, on, I guess, road courses, actual tracks that don't have a lot of corners that aren't tight, you're not gonna win. This is an amazing handling car, but on the freeway, it's not an impressive car. Now, I've also gone on cruises with a built turbo V6 Mustang, Mini Cooper John Cooper, not JCW, a turbocharged Mini Cooper, Toyota Corolla, basically the AE86, but not. And this car cornered faster than all of them, and I'm on like low budget Falcon Sierra Tourings, something like that. They're not sport tires, they're stock tires, and I was able to keep up with the built Mustang and all that stuff. Again, that was on tight twisty back roads though. It is an amazing car, it's just not a fast one. There's been a lot of times, I think like a stock, pretty much any car can beat me. There was a V6 Mustang that, like not a new turbo Mustang, it was like the old 2005 V6. Oh, I have a lot less gas than I thought. Oh, one thing I will say is kind of a downfall of this car, there's no space. I went to go return a couple laptops I was reviewing and they couldn't even fit in the trunk. I went camping in this car once, that was an interesting experience. Literally, one backpack, a pillow, hiking stick, and that was pretty much all that could fit in here. So there's not much space in the car, obviously. It's a two-seater convertible. I don't have a hard top, I have the soft top only. So you probably hear a lot of ambient noise right now, actually. That's gonna suck. There's been some times, you'll be glad to have two-seater. If you're friends with people, if you're like me, and you're friends with people that you're not always sure you want to be friends with, you'll be glad that you can say, I don't have the room to pick you up. I don't have room in my car. That's a really nice excuse sometimes. And, you know, if, say, you're picking up your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, best friend, and somebody you hate is like, hey, can I get a ride with you guys? You can say no. You won't fit. And it's even better because if they're one of those people that's like, come on, dude, I'll just ride in the back. You don't have any room. There's no room in the back of this car. I mean, if you put the top down, they could sit behind you, but there's no way to hide that. Their head's gonna be sticking above the windshield. And so even if you do have to do that, they'll get the shaft and they'll get a face full of bugs. It's great. This car is very user-friendly to people who are antisocial. I don't have any mods done to it. It's a stock car. I mean, I've done aesthetic mods, so I have like license plate remount. I have the original, I think they came on the Unos, where they're the stripes down the side on the bottom of the door in the same Mazda. There's a couple different versions of them. I think they might have come on the US MX-5. I'm not sure. I've seen them on the Unos, mods to Unos Roadster, which is Japan's version of the Miata. I've seen a lot of those. I have blacked out wheels, but they're the stock rims. I just have a matte black. And really, I haven't done anything else to the car. So, interior is stock. I like it. Same shift knob. Radio is original. That kind of sucks. This actually doesn't have an aux cord. I'm having to live with a cassette player with an aux adapter, but it doesn't always work, and so when your volume is quiet, you actually have to pull the aux cord out to get the wires to set. It's a hassle. Oh my god, this guy's slow. One of the other things I don't really like about the car is that when you're cruising on the freeway, the gears are really short, which is awesome for back roads, but it kind of sucks on the freeway because right now I'm doing 75 and I'm revving almost 4K, and that's in 5th gear. Yeah, I could drop down to 3rd right now, which is nice. The gears are short enough to where I have a lot of gear selection when I'm going, whatever speed. And the power band is long enough that it doesn't really matter as much. Power starts kicking in at about 3.5 grand, and this red line's at 7. So I literally have half of my RPM range. That's good for power, which is really nice. But again, cruising on the freeway, it could use an extra gear or like an overdrive gear. Yeah, you wouldn't have any power, but you'd save a lot more gas. I don't know. It's just kind of annoying. But it pulls hills, which is nice because when you're cruising on the freeway, it's literally cruising in its power band. So that means when you want to pass somebody, you don't even need to shift down. You just smash it. And again, not fast, but it gets the job done. But yeah, I'm having to baby the car to work and back every day because I need a new clutch. I have 127,000 as of today. 127,000 miles on this car. I bought it at 122. So I've put, 5,000 miles on the car in a couple months from I've had it. I drive a lot. But it's 127,000 miles on the stock clutch, which, yeah, that's pretty good. But, I mean, it doesn't slip yet, but if I shift into 2nd under power, it doesn't hook. It'll, RPM drop and, which, yeah, I think I got the car, when I started to go out, so it still holds in all the gears fine, but I have a new clutch sitting at home. It's just finding the time to drop the transmission, because on a Miata, you can't just drop the transmission. You have to tear out the interior, drop the transmission, and then you can replace the clutch. I don't know if it's like that in normal cars or not, let me know, but it's just finding the time, because I don't trust myself to do it in a weekend. If something goes wrong and I break a bolt, or I find out I need a new flywheel or something, I don't want it to be Sunday night and I'm trying to, get all these new parts before I have to go to work at 9 in the morning on Monday. Come on. You ever heard of a car wash? Yeah, boy. I don't know. Oh god, my rear window's so dirty. Yeah. As for the reliability of this car, I've had 0 issues with it, which is great because I need it every day. And that was one of the things when I was looking for a car. I was looking between a Miata, obviously, a first-gen Impreza because all-wheel drive, and there was something else. I looked at an MR2, but it had actual frame damage, and I walked away from that. But I wanted to be manual because I wanted to be fun to drive every day. I grew up, riding dirt bikes, so I didn't really mind the whole people. Oh, but traffic in a manual sucks. Okay, it's not that hard. I've been in stop and go traffic. I drive down 45 minutes down to the main downtown Sac 2 times a week. And every time, because I get out of class at 5:30, I'm coming home in rush hour traffic. And you know what? It's not an issue. Driving, a lot of people are worried about that, but driving in traffic in a manual is not hard. It's literally, you shift a lot from neutral to first, because I don't like to sit there with the clutch on. But it's not an issue. If you stall the car, you start it back up. You don't even need to stop. You can keep rolling and you just start the car again. It's really forgiving. You start to stall it, it doesn't stall right away like a lot of people think. You have some leeway. Like, it's really not hard. And people don't understand that concept. They always think manual is some like undrivable car that only gods can drive, and it's like, no, it's very easy. Once you get the concept of using your left foot when you drive, it's second nature. I go to drive automatics now, and it takes me a second to figure it out, because I'll go to shift and I'll literally try to press the clutch pedal, and I'm like, never mind, that's the brake. And I can't, it takes me a second to readjust to driving a manual, or to driving an auto per se. And so, I'll pull up to a stoplight and I'll try and pull it back into neutral, and it's weird. And yeah, there have been some pains with having a manual, like freeway on-ramps that have the meters on when you have to stop and go and stop and go. But again, it's not an issue. It's just little minor annoying things. But it still more than makes up, that's a policeman, it still more than makes up for it, just because it's an enjoyable driving experience. You're not ever left lacking like I was with an automatic, at least. It's always fun. You don't have to have a fast car. I have a 1.8 liter engine, and I love it. I mean, would I like to turbo this? Yes. Will I? No, because it's my daily. I want to keep it really reliable. But it's just, I don't know. Everything's more of a mechanical connection. There's less stuff that can go wrong. If you drive it right and not like this, you can get better mileage out of a manual. I mean, if I pop this in fifth, which is at $2,000 right now, and I just cruise the entire way to work like this, I would get better mileage. Maybe not freeway driving, because freeway, I'm freaking sky high on my RPM gauge, but a lot of people diss manual. Car guys love manual. That's a good thing. Car guys need to love manual. Keep it alive. Oh, another thing. You roll backwards. Okay, we're going. See, roll back, and then you go. It's really not a big deal. I roll back closer to that dude, and he was probably like, what the okay. But no, it's not a big deal. Once you learn, where your clutch grabs and everything, it's really easy to kind of mitigate that effect. Another yellow light, really? Neutral coast. Oh, and you can save gas by that too. When you're going downhill, just put it in neutral. You can just coast on all the roads. It's nice. And then getting back into gear, you're 100% gonna slam it into the wrong gear. Or be like me, when you're trying to get off of a stoplight and you shift, you pull it into the notch between second and fourth, which are down here. And so when you shift, you hit the notch and it bounces back into neutral, and you just rev your car. It's not pleasant. Oh, Miatas are low. So you will scrape it. If you have a splitter, or if you don't have a splitter, get the splitter. You're gonna scrape your car. All right, I'm gonna park right here in the van. All right, so I'm at work, and that concludes the vlog. So, yeah, see you guys. It's a Rayleigh's truck.